Another winning day, 2-2 day, but both winners 2-unit dogs. One of the losers, a 1-unit play there on Washington. That makes it 6 of the last 7 now in the green. Last night, we get it done with Baltimore, get it done with Cincinnati again. And if you guys looked at the previews or if you guys tuned into this, both of those kind of had very positive effects based off of injuries, which we were keeping up with. One, the Ohtani situation. And if you guys watched yesterday, you guys saw John talk about how he was not going to go too far. He's going to have a leash, going to try to protect himself from the injury. Granted, did end up getting hurt and leaving the game with the UCL issue. And then the other one, Santana, we're waiting on him to be in the lineup, and all he does is hit 2 bombs last night. So both those injuries, very important. As you guys know, we're always on top of that information. John, another day in the green. Got to be feeling pretty good.
I am, but I'm feeling real bad for Ohtani. Man, maybe take $100 million and a couple of years off that contract. But as Ben said, we put it in the preview yesterday. He hadn't pitched in 2 weeks due to fatigue. How is that going to help you going into the next game? It was an overlay. Reds are hot again. Once again, guys, excuse the voice, trying to suck out a lozenge just to get through this. But another game, we take the Reds and Orioles, riding them all year. This is what we talk about, undervalued.
Yeah.
Not adjusting. You got to adjust. The team keeps winning in a certain situation. We use the expression all the time. The old coach, Denny Green, we are who they thought they were. Well, the Reds have the second best road record in the National League. Only the Braves are better, and they just keep winning. So took advantage of it. Somehow this freak of nature, Ohtani, after knowing he's got a tear in the UCL, plays the second game. He would have been out. We would have came back with the Reds again. If you guys don't know, Trout didn't play in either game in a doubleheader, and he'll be placed back on IL after playing just one game. Angels, told you should have made me and Ben the GM. Got rid of the whole team at the trade deadline. So that shit's blown up in their face. On to today, but as Ben said, another winning day. At 6 or 7 winning days, the last 2 days, over 10 units. And that's over 10 units betting 1 and 2 units a game. Not like some fakes out there that tell you to go bet 15 units on a game that they got no clue how to have. They never probably made a fucking bet. But anyway, I digress. Let's get going, Ben.
Yeah, real quick, guys. Appreciate all the comments and engagement on the Instagram and the YouTube before we run down the card. As you guys know, tomorrow we'll be doing our first giveaway of $100. So please keep that up. Keep the engagement coming on both the channel and on Instagram. Helps us grow, helps us continue to give you guys this good information. And we can just get into this card. We have a nice little NL Central matchup here, top of the card. Cubs at Pittsburgh. Still waiting on a pitcher here for the Pirates, but can only look one way. Cubs have dominated this matchup all 6 meetings this year, 48-14. And come in playing decent ball. They've 4-1 their last 5. Pittsburgh, they get the loss yesterday. They took 2 or 3 from the Cardinals, though. This is just ownership in a division matchup. One team in the race, one team not. Don't know who the pitcher is. You got the ace on the mound for Cubbies. This is as must win as it gets. Could be interested here in laying a fairly heavy favorite, depending on who the pitcher is and where they settle in at this price.
Yeah, still tied for the league lead in wins, second in ERA. Cubs winning all 6, dominating this matchup by a combined score of 48-14. Unless they're coming back, Doc Ellison, he's going to throw a no-hitter on LSD. I want the Cubs or nobody. But Ben, as we're going down in order, this is the official rotation, Ben. But why don't we jump up to the 2 1 o'clock games so we can give the guys a little insight in case this is right on top of 1 o'clock. Start with the Yanks, the two interleague games.
Yep. So first one, guys, Nats at Yanks. Nats, the 1-unit loser from last night. Yankees. Really, I don't want to give the credit to the Yankees. It was all Aaron Judge. 3 home runs gets it done for them. If it wasn't for Aaron Judge being back in the line, I would have been looking at probably another Yankees loser. So Judge gets it done with 3 homers last night. We'll see if the rest of the offense can wake up. Still, Yankees, even with the big 9 runs last night, they're hitting just 186 this week. They had scored just 10 runs in their prior 6 games. And then you have this Nationals team 8-3 their last 11. Corbin versus King. King going to be used as an opener. Did that against the Red Sox the other day. Gave up 3 runs in one in the third. Corbin, 12 quality starts for the Nats. And we talked about this last time he was out, how he's going to have good quality starts. He's going to have good outings. He's going to have some outings where he gets absolutely torched. But when he's going well, he's going well. So the numbers there are a bit inflated. So far in August, though, 2.08 ERA. Last time out, 1 run in 6 innings. Had a quality start versus the Yanks back in 21. And we are looking at a big 2-1 favorite for a team that is 1-9 their last 10, hitting under 200 this week, barely scoring. Yes, the big explosion yesterday, but all at the bat of Aaron Judge. Without that, you don't have much. So Nats are nothing. I mean, you guys know we've been riding the Nats just like we've been riding Cincy and Baltimore. This is, once again, Nats are nothing.
So let's first just say Judge hits 3 homers yesterday. So even though he's missed 54 games, he's still 5th in the American League with homers, and that's what this guy means when he's right. You got a little look at when he's right. So maybe he's getting right. And if he is, and if they had Ron Guidry on the mound today, maybe, just maybe, they could be a 2-1 favorite. Mike King, your relief guy, is going to be the opener in a bullpen game. Torched his last time out. 3 runs in an inning and a third against the Red Sox. Against Corbin, as Ben said, sometimes Corbin gets lit up, but just about half of his starts this year, he's turned in a quality start. 12 quality starts, which actually leads the Nationals. I tell you, one team has lost 9 of 10. The other team has lost 8 of 11. One team's going to go with a bullpen game, and the other team has got a decent quality start pitcher out there. Which team do you think would be 210? Because now the line has actually gone to 210. I must be a sucker because I took 182 on this game. Nats are nobody, guys. Yankees might win 2 straight, but they cannot be a 210 favorite.
Yeah, Corbin, just what you said there as far as half the time going to give you quality out. 25 starts, they won 13 of them. If you're taking a 2-1 price as a dog, with that number, winning half the starts, you're going to be in the green. So just to know, I think it was Arlam who put it in the chat yesterday on the app, talking about the stat Yankees haven't lost 10 straight since 1913, and that there's a stat and there's trends like that, but we also, if we would have had that same went about it the same angle in the first game of the series, they haven't lost 9 straight since 1982, then you're going to lose a winner there. So I have to look at what you're giving me now. We bet the numbers, we can't control the outcome. Next one, we have Rockies at Tampa Bay. Another high-scoring game last night, 6-5. Rays end up pulling it out there in the 10th. They go to extras. You guys know this worst road team in the NL, best home team in the AL. That's what we have going on here. Rays still just 2 games back at Baltimore. Tough to go against them, but they are going bullpen game here. Lambert been pitching pretty solid. He's coming off a pair of quality starts, 4 runs in 13 innings, 1 against the White Sox, 1 against the Dodgers. Armstrong going to be the opener. He's been really solid this season. 24 outings, still has a 1.00 ERA so far in August, 2 runs in 11 innings. This is just another Tampa Bay bullpen game here. Tough to get on Colorado. Lean here a little bit to the Rockies. They were very much so in that game last night. Let it slip through the fingertips, and that's just what happens when you're the worst road team in the National League. You lose those close ones like that. Rays really need these games. I'm still just looking at the over here. Lambert's had some solid numbers lately, but so did Gomber. So did Sabal yesterday. The runs ended up coming up. These are 2 teams who for the last week and a half been putting up runs. Still going to have that same read, over or nothing.
Yeah, sometimes when you're good, you get lucky, Ben. So you got 2 in the bottom of the ninth with Tampa Bay, and then 1 in the 10th. So Colorado had a 5-3 lead in the ninth. They let that one slip by, but as Ben said, that's what bad teams do, and good teams take advantage of it. Today, you're going to have Diaz and the catcher and Tovar, the shortstop, both out of the lineup for the Rockies. Ramirez and Serial sit for the Blue Jays, for the Rays. One no part of Rockies here. Again, worst NL road team against best AL home team. They're killing the ball right now, Tampa Bay. Rockies just can't get it done. Yeah, when they go home, they score, but on the road, 29th, scoring 3.72 runs per game. The number's as high as it's supposed to be. I'm not touching it. No value with the Rockies here. Rays are looking for W's.
And going back to some of these NL matchups, Reds at Arizona. This has a lot of wild card implications to it. Yesterday, Reds sweep a doubleheader against the Angels as the D-backs had a day off. They go from half game back to half game up on Arizona now in this wild card race, tied right there with the Cubbies. And then you have the Giants and Marlins knocking behind them. The Cincinnati team keeps getting it done on the road. You guys keep hearing us talking about that. Still on the road here. They're now 1-5-7, scoring 4.8 runs per game. And then this Arizona team, they flipped it around. They've won 4 straight, 7-1 their last 8. Playing good baseball right now as well. Williamson versus Kelly. Williamson, rough time out last time against the Blue Jays. Prior to that, had a pair of quality starts. And he had a good start against Arizona earlier this year. Kelly, he was decent last time out. 3 runs and 5 1/3. Did have 4 walks there against the Padres. Prior to that was 3 quality starts. Kelly still gets the pitching edge here in this matchup. Team edge, it's a little bit of a coin flip. I mean, literally, these teams are right there neck and neck. Yeah, price is a little bit more steep. The opening number, my lean wasn't as heavy to Cincinnati, and I understand this is a horrible spot for the Reds coming off a doubleheader, Arizona coming off the day off. Still, though, with this series having so much implications to it as far as the wild card goes, have a hard time making this price any much more higher than the opening number. You're taking a dog in a dog fight here. This would be Reds or nothing for me.
I see what Ben is saying, but saying a horrible spot is an understatement. This is Cincy traveling, and yes, second best road record in the National League, but coming off a tough doubleheader yesterday. Not only are they coming off a tough doubleheader, but Diaz, most saves in baseball, took 24 pitches last night in the nightcap. He also pitched the day before. He has not pitched 3 days in a row this year. Don't expect him to pitch today either. So now you lose your closer. You're going against the team that's last 2 games were at home. They rested yesterday. They're 7-1 in their last 8 games. They've turned it around also, Arizona, and they've got a decisive pitching edge. Spot belongs to Arizona. Yes, the number's a little high, but that's because the spot is so solid. I'll stay off this one.
We have one of the best young pitching matchups we've had this season. Red Sox at Houston, Bayo versus France. Bayo had a really nice stretch in June and most of July. Tailed off a little bit here, but still solid. 2-1, 3.86. Coming off another quality start against the Yankees. He continues to own them. 1 run in 6 innings there. In France, really since June, just been terrific. 8-3, 2.33 ERA. Last 2, both quality starts, 4 runs in 13 innings. Been a little bit less dominant at home, but still just a really great season. So really good pitching matchup here. In the rubber match of the series, you have Red Sox currently get the win last night, hold off in extras, get one in the series, trail 2-1. They split the last 6 in Houston. Looking a little bit at the under here, and I have the slightest of leans to Boston, getting dog money and a good pitching matchup here. Don't want to buck what France has been doing. Got to see the lineups here with Alvarez for Houston. He's missed the last couple of games. What's going on with him?
Alvarez is in. So
there we go. So that decreases my lean to Boston a little bit more there. So still tough game on this line. Really good number. Lean to Boston ever so slightly. I'm staying away here.
Yeah. Boston also in a bad spot. We just talked about since he'll be without Diaz. Jansen comes in last night and throws a couple of pitches, and he's out, and he'll be out again today. You guys know how brutal the relief pitching has been this year. So you're talking about 2 teams that'll be without their closer. Not only without their closer, they'll be sitting Cassis and Story today. Astros, they'll get Alvarez back. They've had a rough road to homestand, just 2-4 in their homestand, scoring 5 runs per game. But Tucker missed the first 3 games of the homestand. Alvarez has missed the last 2. They've only played in 1 game together. They put a 9 spot up in the opening game of the series against the Red Sox when both Tucker and Alvarez were in the lineup. They're both in the lineup today. France has got a pitching advantage over Bayo. He's been fantastic for them. He is taking over. Look, Valdez, yes, he's had the no-hitter, but besides that, you got to say France has been their best pitcher over the last couple of months. The line has gone up since Alvarez has been announced into the 135 area. That's where I think the number belongs. Maybe just a little short of that, but I'm not interested in the Red Sox. Getaway day, go back home after a long road trip in the afternoon. Don't have their closer. I'll stay off this one.
The nice AL East matchup. We have Blue Jays at Baltimore. Baltimore, one of our 2-unit winners from last night. They blank them 7-zip. They've won 9 of 12 meetings this year. Cheap price here for the best team in the AL. Just tough to do it against Berrios. Berrios has been solid lately, but beyond that, he owns Baltimore. So this year has 7.2 shutout innings against them. Last year went 3-0, 2.88, and in his career, 10-0, 2.66 for his Baltimore. Just a team he's absolutely owned. Tough to go against that. Gibson's been solid. Last 3 starts, they won 2 of the 3. He's won both starts against the Blue Jays this year, 2 runs in 13 innings. He did have one really horrendous start there. We got tagged for 9 runs. Outside of that, been decent. This, pitching edge goes to Berrios here. Team edge goes to Baltimore. And you're getting pretty much at a pick-em price here. I have no real feel on this side. Would be a slice of leans to the O's just because you're getting cheap money with one of the best teams in AL, or the best team in the AL at home. But I'm looking more so at the under here. 6 of the last 8 meetings have gone under. Fairly good pitching matchup, especially when you just look at the history between the two. Would be under or nothing, and slightest leans to Baltimore.
Yeah, I think this line is it's a pick-em game because of Berrios getting the pitching edge. I give him a little bit more of a pitching edge probably than Ben does. Gibson somehow is 2-1 despite giving up 16 runs over 17 in the 3rd innings his last couple of games. Tough series. This will be about lineups and where the line goes later. This is a night game. Again, yesterday, guys, this wasn't one of our bets early. That's why it's great to come on here. We appreciate you watching. But this was a bet that we made later on in the day. One way to get all those bets, become a How to Beat the Bookie member. We'll wait to see what the lineups and lines look like later on.
Then we have Rangers at Minnesota, a couple division-leading teams here. This Texas team just ice cold right now. They've dropped 6 straight, scoring under 3 runs per game. Then you have this Twins team who playing decent ball right now. They're coming off a loss in extras yesterday against Milwaukee. This Rangers team has won 5 of the last 7 meetings. Only thing that matters in this matchup is what Pablo Lopez is doing in August. He has just been on an absolute tear. 4 starts, last 3, hasn't allowed a run. Just 1 run in those 4 starts, 27 Ks, 3 walks in 25 innings. Can't go against that. He's had bad history against the Rangers last year, but the way he's going right now, there is nobody pitching the ball better this month of August. So with that, you're looking at a fairly cheap price with a division-leading team with the best pitcher in baseball at the moment. Twins are nothing here. That's all I can see.
Yeah. Texas ice cold. Decisive pitching advantage for Lopez. The only thing has been said, Haney, a good start last year against the Twins, giving up 1 earned run and 4 1/3 in a win. Lopez, he got beat up a little bit, gave up 5 runs in 5 innings in an 8-0 loss to the Rangers. Other than that, Lopez, when we say lights out, this is what that means. 1 run in the last 25 innings, 27 Ks, 3 walks. Video game numbers, Lopez a nobody against the ice-cold Texas team.
Then we have A's at the White Sox. A's get blanked by the Royals yesterday. They win 2 of 3 there with 2 of 4 homestand. Then you have this White Sox team coming off a win against the Red Hot Mariners. They snapped that Mariners 8-game win streak. They lost the first 2 in the home series, scored a total of 5 runs. They've dropped 8 of their last 11 now. This White Sox team always tough to back, maybe a bit more appealing here now going against Oakland. Waldichuk, last 8 starts, they're 1-7 in. In the last 3, 5 runs and 16 2/3. Been solid, decent on the road. Schultens, he was tagged his last time out for 5 runs in 3 innings. He did have 3 quality starts before that. Giving him the pitching edge here. This is just a gross game, another gross series here with the Oakland A's involved in it. Would be, a slight interest here in the White Sox at a cheap price. They get the win yesterday over our Red Hot Mariners team. Maybe that builds some kind of momentum to get some wins here against Oakland. I don't think you're stealing any value here laying this price with the White Sox. Just have no interest in backing the A's, worst road team in baseball. Can't get my money there.
No, not backing an Oakland team that's they've lost 9 of their last 10 road games. They're the worst road team in baseball. They score the fewest runs. But White Sox, they've dropped 8 of 11. How they won yesterday, these are the things we happened. We forewarned you guys. Mariners on getaway day, going home. That was the only thing. Could they fall asleep? I said, even if they were asleep, they should still be able to beat the White Sox. They got that and let it slip away. If you guys watched how that ended, the ball bounces off Tim Anderson's head, and there you go. Off his helmet, you gotta win. That's anything can happen in baseball. Price is right about where it should be. For the White Sox to have any value, I need the game to go lower. Just not interested in the A's. Not on the road. Not after taking 2 of 3. White Sox stay home, no travel. I'll stay off of this one.
And then we're going to have Dodgers and the Guardians. They have the continued game from last night, which got shut down in the second inning as Dodgers led 3-1. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, lineups here in the second game of this is going to be very important. So hard to give you too much of a read on this game, but initial lean has to be to Cleveland a little bit. Price is a little bit short. Williams, he has been terrific in August, despite the fact they lost all 4 of his starts. 0-2, 2.45 ERA. Last time out was decent, 3 runs in 5 innings versus the Tigers. Prior to that, had 2 really good starts versus Tampa Bay and Toronto. And then his point going here for the Dodgers. First start this year, allowed 1 run in 5 innings. He was solid last year as well, 3-0, 3.47 in 9 outings. Going to see what you get there out of that. Dodgers, they do have a series coming up with Boston. Don't know how much they look into that with some of their World Series history there. This is Cleveland or nobody in game 2 for me, just based off what Williams has been doing. They haven't been getting it done. Really, though, got to see what's going on with the lineups, who plays what in game 1, game 2. You already have some issues going on with the Dodgers health-wise, and we'll see if any of that continues.
Yep. Lineups. This is basically a doubleheader. They only completed 2 innings yesterday.
Yep.
So you got 7 innings. What's the lineups? So you're basically going to go with 2 bullpen games in the first game, taxing the bullpens. So we'll evaluate that. We'll see what the lineups are. We'll see what the line is later, and then we'll take a look at it. But you're probably going Grant Williams and Guardians as a home dog or nobody, depending on how things shake out later.
And that's the Small Thursday card, guys. We do have 1 bet so far out for how to beat the bookie members. Definitely some others we're looking at. You guys know how we are with line movement and lineups. Have to keep up with that all throughout the day. If you guys want to get any more information other than what you have already at this point, go sign up on howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. 6 of the last 7 days in the green, John, picking up momentum right in time for football season. Hopefully we can carry that on into the weekend here.
Yeah, hopefully I have my voice back by tomorrow, too. Yeah, no better time to jump on. Red hot right now. Always do it after the All-Star break, heading right into NFL, and then comes NBA. We will absolutely slaughter, and I mean slaughter DraftKings as we did last year. If you have an account in a state that you could bet DraftKings, and you're not a How to Beat the Bookie member during basketball, you're just giving away free money.
Absolutely. And you guys definitely want to sign up on that. Last year, beating lines in the NBA 3, 4, 5, up to there are some games beating points 8 to 10 points. And that is not an exaggeration. That is actually happening. So that is having a mathematical edge that you see.
And Orlando Magic. Check it out.
Yep. So make sure you guys go check out the app, check out the website, become How to Beat the Bookie members. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's make some money, John.
Giving $100 away tomorrow.